Well, this is my truggery. It's where I mix up my vegetables, my herbs and my flowers for cutting. And why do I do it like this? Well, there's several really good reasons, I think. First of all, the vegetable garden used to be banished to the bottom of the garden, or in the big houses they had the walled garden way from the house, and it was almost quicker to go to the supermarket than to actually go down and pick some vegetables. So now we all like to have our vegetable garden right on the kitchen doorstep, which is exactly where mine is. So you can just pop out and lift some carrots for supper or cut some lettuce, whatever you like, really quick and easy. And so therefore I think it has to look better. It has to look slightly more ornamental than just an ordinary vegetable garden. Now, I do find vegetables very attractive anyway, but I just really like this form of garden. It's almost like the old annual bedding garden schemes, in that you can play with it, you can use all different annuals to mix in with your vegetables, you can try out different variations, different combinations, and it's a really exciting way to garden. It gives you scope for really practicing and trying out new things. Then there's the other reasons for mixing up vegetables with flowers. So people always talking about companion planting and how it works or how it doesn't. But one thing we know for sure is that companion planting means you've got lots of flowers with nectar, with scent, that actually diffuse and deflect the insects. So if you have a whole block of cabbages, then sure enough, the cabbage white butterfly finds it no problem at all. But if you're able to break it up with lines of flowers, or maybe not have just blocks of cabbage, but intersperse different vegetable with it, then it really does help confuse the pests. We all know that French marigolds are really good for attracting hoverflies and parasitic wasps, but they also emit limonene, which actually deters the growth of adult whitefly. So quite useful to grow among your tomatoes. And then there are other flowers like hyssop and the pot marigold. So the hyssop's the little blue flower over there, and they pull in things like hoverflies as well as bees and things like that. And they will actually then eat the aphids. So they're actually good at deterring insects as well. So it's a nice mix up. It's a big pot where you can stir in all different things that are quite beneficial. So we've said they're attractive. We said that it's quite useful for deflecting insect pests. It's increasing the diversity of the garden, and we all like more diversity for insects, which you know are declining in numbers. Now, there's been very little research until quite recently on companion planting, and that's because no firm benefits from it. You're not going to get a chemical company investing in that. But I think we all agree that to mix them up is beneficial in many ways. Now, I did have a pre-submitted question. It was from Pat, and she said, what cut flowers can I add to my vegetable garden that I can eat? And there are quite a few here. Now, I've got lots of Amaranthus caudatus viridis, and that is a brilliant plant, the amaranth, and I've got loads this year because I'm growing some for the Chelsea stand for Horatio's garden, where I'm doing the design of the flowers in that. And so I put all the spares here, and I had loads of spares because it's a very easy plant to grow. But I discovered that not only does it look brilliant, but you can eat the young leaves like spinach, and then when the seeds ripen, you can cut the plant down, put them in a box lined with newspaper, put them in a warm, dry place, and then you can actually shake out the grain. And that you can use for a nutty like porridge. You can also use it as a gluten-free thickener, so that's good. And it's also, you can use it like a risotto, so that's one. I've got the lovely cut flower roses over there, the flower garden range from Wharton's. And you can use rose petals for jellies, for garnishing things. A lovely Japanese client of mine grows masses of them, and she sent me some beautiful rose petal jelly, and it was just really, really delicious. And things like lavender flowers are quite good. They attract cabbage white butterflies quite a lot, but you can obviously use the petals to make lovely lavender flower biscuits and things like that. So there are quite a few flowers that you can use, as well as marigolds, of course. You can use the petals in salads and garnishes. So really, you're increasing your food palette, you're increasing the aesthetic value of your garden, you're increasing its use for insects and birds. So I think mixing them up is just such an exciting way to garden. You can try different things every year. And I really am glad I'm doing it like this now. It's really working well for me.